Hello and welcome to Chisel, short takes JavaScript inside out. In this episode, we dig deeper into the fundamental but elusive aspects of global execution context. Without much ado, let's dive in. I shall flip over to the code editor, which displays two files, one the HTML file and second the JavaScript file. The JavaScript file is completely devoid of code, absolutely no line of code. The JavaScript file o1 underscore chisel is linked to the HTML file named index.html via line number 7. And in order to demonstrate and understand certain key aspects of the execution context, I will run the HTML file using the live server. I've just opened it up. I will also open up the dev tools and specifically look at the source code and the window to the rightmost window. Okay. And I have the breakpoint on line number 7 inside the JS file. And I wanted to you folks to concentrate on the call stack. Currently, the call stack is empty. So we will discuss in detail about the call stack. But for now, you assume that it's a stack. And when I run this piece of code, okay, when I refresh this page, the JavaScript file is invoked, and despite it not having any executable lines inside the JS file, you still have the execution context created. Okay, so it means that execution context could be, in very basic terms, it could be defined as a wrapper around your code. Okay, in very simplest of terms. And if I am running this file, even though it doesn't have a line of code inside the .js file, it still creates a global execution context. The execution context, which is the base execution context, is called the global execution context, and always occupies the bottom of the call stack. I'm going to refresh it, take a good look at the call stack. Okay, I could see the anonymous. So anonymous represents the global execution context. Now let's understand what is this global execution context and what are its constituents. For that, let me flip over, and with the help of this infographics, it's easy to drive home a couple of key constituents of the global execution context. One is the global object, and second is the special variable this. Let's understand it in detail. So the global object is something which is spawned, which is created by the JavaScript engine. If the JavaScript environment is within, or JavaScript engine is running within the browser, any browser for that matter. And this global object, again, it consists of the name value pairs, and that's named as window. So your JavaScript engine works inside your browser. You always have this global object created and referenced using window. And this, the object, which means essentially it contains the name value pairs. Okay, so let's look at the window. That's the window object. And the second one is about the keyword this, the variable this, the special variable this. And at the global level, this points to the window object. So either you type in window or you type in this. In the global context, it's always going to be the same, right? Could be considered synonymous. In other ways, you could also do this using the strict equality operator. Window triple equals this. It's true. Okay, and let's now move a little bit deeper with the help of a small piece of code inside the JS. Let me open up this file, and let me check the code that I want to paste. Yeah, var my name else Shibu, and one more. Probably I will write a function display my name, and let's have a console log my name. Pretty simple, straightforward. Save this, and um, when I invoke the HTML file, when I run this JavaScript file, an execution context is created. However, the execution context comprises of two phases. Okay, the first phase is the creation or memory allocation phase, and the second phase is the actual code execution. Okay, so let's try that. I'm going to open up the browser and the page refresh the page. Okay, I have the the breakpoint set at this level, and this is the code execution. So now we are into the second phase. The first phase is already done. The first phase is memory allocation phase. Okay, and what exactly happens during memory allocation? You could see this, the my name variable, which is which is being populated with the value. It's again a standard value provided by the JS engine. It is undefined. Okay, my name is undefined. So this is again the second phase. The first phase is always the memory allocation phase. Okay, and since the my name variable is outside of this function, so this is attached to the global object. So in this case, it's a window object. So you could very well spot my name inside the properties of the window object. So let's check it now. Window, and this, and look for my name. You could see it is undefined. So this undefined, the my name variable gets populated with undefined during the first phase. Again, remember, the execution context is constructed uh, in two phases. The first phase is the memory allocation or creation phase. So that is when the JavaScript engine populates the my name variable with a keyword with a standard value as undefined. Okay, and the second one is the display my name, right? So this is the function. So in JavaScript, functions are objects. We will discuss again in detail when we look at functions later on. But for now, my name. So what does it contain during the first phase of the execution context? So let's take a look at display my name. Display my name. You could see the function, right? So this function in its entirety. So it is doesn't really point to undefined. The function in its entirety is pushed into memory. Okay, this is during the first run. So if you look at this infographics, right, so this is the call stack. So we again discuss in detail as we proceed, and this is the global execution context. So this is inside the call stack. So the base item inside the call stack is always going to be the global execution context, and this consists of many key constituents, but now we look at only two of them: the variable environment or the memory. You can also call this as memory. So during the first phase of the global execution context, right, so you'll have the my name, right? So the uh, the the JS engine looks at the variables, and it looks at the variable named my name, and what it does is it allocates memory and initializes it with the value undefined. Okay, and then it looks at then it goes into the next line and it looks at display my name function, and it allocates memory and referenced by display my name and the whole function in its entirety. This is the whole function in its entirety. Okay, and that is during the first phase. Okay, that is during the first phase. And then let's look at the phase two, right? Let me, so this is phase two now. So first phase is complete, you could see, and you can also add these items into the watch window like this. My name. Okay, it is undefined, and you can also add display my name. Display my name. Okay? And this is the function in its entirety. Okay, this is the function in its entirety. So this is undefined now. So let's run through this one after the other. So this is the second phase, actual execution. I click on this, and now we could see my name is populated with the value Shibu. Okay, so this is during the second phase. What happens using the infographics? You could see now this gets moved, and you could see this. It gets populated with the my name gets populated with the name Shibu. So this is the execution phase. Okay, cool. Then, so this is a very key concept, and this is pretty foundational, and we will add upon these things as we proceed further with you know uh, multiple editions of Chisel. Thank you.